Aaron Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Charmin Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
It's not very often that you get to hear the intro twice in one day, but today is a rare day that we do. Mac, Alex, I already asked you guys how you're doing earlier, so we're going to jump right into the question of the day. Fellas, it's going to be a quick one. What is the best way to have potatoes?
I actually have a very direct answer for this.
Me too.
Here. For me, I personally love French fries. Fries are my personal favorites here, but I want to direct a quote directly from my friend group here. We were talking about the difference between preferring either French fries or tater tots. And I made the line that more often French fries are just consistently good, whereas tater tots can either be horrid or incredible here. And so I made the line that said, it's like, what do you value more, consistency or potential? And my friends immediately said, Alex, you sounded like a supervillain. What the hell was that? And I'm going to be very delighted to direct them to this podcast so they can see the reference.
So I'm going to go the French fry, but specifically fried in beef fat. That is, my favorite spot, shout out George Motes, the burger scholar, called Hamburger America. He makes, first of all, great smash burgers, fried onion burgers, and then he has like regional smash burgers from around America that he brings to the restaurant. But he makes shoestring fries, but old school McDonald's style. It's fried in beef fat, super crispy, and honestly, he might be my favorite fries. Hamburger America, if you're ever in New York, you got to go there. In my opinion, best burgers in the city, best fries in the city.
Okay. Easy answer, latkes.
Oh my God. I do love latkes.
I think we've had this conversation before. It might have been a question of the day before, but that's okay.
My Jewish heritage, of course, I've got to eat latkes so often, man. I love latkes.
I've actually never had one. Again, I'm not Jewish.
I recommend if you ever have if you ever have the opportunity to have a latke, go for it.
Glad to know. I will give it an effort.
Yeah,
just make a potato pancake. They are excellent.
That is fair. Absolutely.
Put some sour cream on it, or put some applesauce on it.
I just say I'm more of a sour cream guy, but yeah.
Applesauce hits with them.
Applesauce is good with it too, though.
Yeah. Something that does not hit the second base position. I'm going to get right into it. This position stinks.
Burn.
I'm going to do my top 5 first. I'll go to my number 5. No honorable mentions. If you're not on the list, you stink. Sorry. I would like to apologize to Luke Keishel's family. I don't know what you did in a previous life, but Luke Keichel in 49 games played is not a top 5 or 7 second baseman. Maybe he is one day. He is not right now. But one player who is a top 5 second baseman right now is, as of recording, he's a St. Louis Cardinal, Brendan Donovan, a former Gold Glover, a former Silver Slugger, ? A former All-Star, my bad. He was an All-Star in 2025, a Gold Glover in his rookie season back in 2022. Last year, his 4th straight year with an OPS plus of at least 114. He's one of the most consistent, middle infielder hitters in the league. He doesn't hit for a lot of power. A lot of his value comes from drawing walks and working the count and, getting on base, right? A 135 ISO this year, a little bit above his career average. Nothing great. That's still below the league average, but an 8% walk rate, that'll play. Only 13% strikeout rate. He didn't grade out as the best defender, but he's fine. And overall, the hitting is pretty good. He's hit at least 275 all 4 years of his career. He's hit 283 times. He's had at least 2.5 WAR in 3 out of 4 seasons. And the only season he did not hit that, he only had 371 plate appearances. This year, 287, 353 slash line, 422 slug. Not too bad, especially at the second base position. not much of a base runner, but he does rack up the doubles over the last 2 seasons. He has 66 doubles, also has 89 walks over the last 2 seasons, and 20 hit by pitches, as shout out to my cat for making bell noises on the podcast. So Brendan Donovan, is he going to be a Cardinal for the next 3 months? I don't know, but the German comes in at number 5 for me.
Fair enough. I do not have him on my list. Personally, he was just barely a miss here for me. I like to use my number 5 slot to kind of put someone that I'm high on that I think could either has the ability to have a great season, or I just think that they're on their way up here. And for me, that man is Jackson Holiday. I think that Jackson Holiday is a very fun player, and when he is on, is absolutely stellar. I'm taking a look at his projections here. Right now, projected only a 10% walk rate here. The strikeout rate's a little high, about 21% here, but the BABIP of 298 is solid. To me, a good offensive WAR projected at 5.3 with a 0.6 on the defensive side of things. I think overall, he is a young player that's starting to really find the groove here. And I think once he is given that time to just mature into the new position, because he's now been at short, he's been at third, now he's at second, let him flourish from there. So he's my number 5.
So my number 5 is also Brendan Donovan. I kind of was going back and forth on where to put him. I will say I had one honorable mention because I wanted to shout Marcus Semien out. I know that he was not great this year, but I think he could have a bounce back season. He played better after Memorial Day. Previously, he was a top 5 second baseman. He is not currently, but Brendan Donovan, I think the Cardinals aren't going to get the King's ransom they're looking for when they trade him. I still think it's inevitable he gets traded. I'm not expecting him to be a St. Louis Cardinal this season, but I think he sort of just kind of checks the boxes of being a solid middle infielder. He'll always give you a 110 to 120 OPS plus bat. Not amazing defense, but solid. He gets the job done there. He has decent enough speed where he may not steal bases, but again, he's not quite like a Luis Ariz there where he only has one tool. So I wouldn't say he's necessarily a 5-tool player because he doesn't have a ton of power, but I think he gets the job done, and he'll wherever he goes after St. Louis, I expect him to be a solid contributor. And if you don't mind, I'm going to roll into my number 4, making his way onto the top 5 list for the first time this year, Bryce Turang from the Milwaukee Brewers. I honestly thought about putting him higher on this list. What a breakout year with the bat for Turang. This was not a guy I considered as an offensive threat at all, but look what he did this year. 18 homers, 81 RBIs, 24 steals. Sure, his strikeout rate went up, but so did his walk rate, so did his power. He batted 288 with a 124 WRC plus. Sure, his defense wasn't quite platinum glove level, but he had a 4.4 FWAR season. He was one of the best second basemen in baseball this year. Am I expecting him to be between a 120 and 130 WRC plus this year? No, not really. But I think it's reasonable to expect him to be more like a 110 to 120 guy, maybe with more steals, and maybe his defense gets back to where it was in 2024. But I'm really shocked at the breakout he had offensively, and I'm curious to see what he can do this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll go into my number 4 because it's also Bryce Turang here. And I think, honestly, he's put on here, even though he doesn't have the full body of work. But again, we are very much a little, shall we say, thin at the second base position. But I want to bring up something that's kind of interesting here. I'm looking at baseballreference.com. And on his first year, 2023, it had a 1.5 WAR with an OPS of 61. OPS plus 61. Not good. Next year, 4.7 WAR in 2024. I don't remember that being as good as it was, but all right. Hey, on top of it, though, has an 86 OPS plus. So you're like, how do these colors rhyme? Well, there's other reasons for that. And then in 2025, though, put both of them together to have an OPS plus of 121 and an offensive WAR of 5.6. Very, very strong, and he's looking like hey, it's just going to be a continuation this year. As long as he just keeps it up here, the real question is, will he continue it here? Because again, we've seen now steady improvement here from year 1 to year 2, then year 2 to year 3. Year 4 is going to be where a lot of it is kind of proven, because last year, again, he technically received MVP votes here. So there's still room to grow, but he's going to have a long jump ahead if he wants to keep jumping up this list.
Absolutely fair. I have Turang on my list. He's just not here yet. Let me change this to second base. My bad. So my number 4 is a division rival, another player in the AL or NL Central. That is Nico Hoerner of the Chicago Cubs. Hoerner is probably the best defensive player at second base. He won the Gold Glove last year in the National League, his second of his career, and he's just exceptional defensively. That's what it is. He eclipsed 6 Baseball Reference WAR his second season with at least 5. He had a 114 OPS plus, which was the best of his career. 29 doubles, 29 steals. The second year in a row, he's hit both of those marks. Only 7 home runs. So he does lag in the power department. He's had a slug below 300 or below 400 in each of the last 3 seasons, but he hits for a pretty high average. He doesn't walk a ton, but he buoys that with a handful of hit by pitches. He just finds his way on base. He has 4 straight seasons grading out as an above average base runner. And even when the OPS plus is not like 114 like it was this year, he's still an above average hitter. And he is on this run the last 5 seasons that he's been a positive hitter, a positive base runner, a positive runner by double plays, and a positive fielder at a middle infield position. Shortstop before Dansby Swanson came over, and now second base in the last 3 seasons, winning 2 Gold Gloves. He was top 20 in MVP voting. And he's just a good ball player to have, that he can do it all. I think he can steal 30 bases in a season. He can hit for a high average. He could be a guy that steals 30 bases and hits 300. That wouldn't exactly shock me, and win another Gold Glove. He does have a 43 steal season on the ledger back in 2023. He hit 283 that year. He's hit 280 in 3 out of the last 4 seasons, including 297 last year, playing 150 games in each of the last 3 seasons. But I will go into my number 3, and that is Bryce Turang of the Milwaukee Brewers. And a lot of the same things I can say about Turang, or a lot of the same things I can say about Hoerner, I can say about Turang, that the glove is elite. I know it wasn't elite in 2025. I get it. This is a former platinum glover. I think he will figure it out. He did deal with some injuries. That's why he played second base, not shortstop, instead of Joey Ortiz. But 18 home runs. And I know that is an outlier given his profile. He's a career below average hitter, even with a 121 OPS plus in 2025. That said, I think what he did, particularly in August, is sustainable. Why? He made better swing decisions. He got his A swing off more often. And I think if the Brewers want to lean into this as an organization, trade a couple strikeouts for bigger swings. And that is what Turang did. He had a higher strikeout rate than his career norms. He had 21% in 2023, 17% in 2024, 22.8%. So only a couple ticks up, still right around league average. He walked a little bit more, but he hit the ball a lot harder. He went from an 85 mile per hour average exit velocity to over 89. He went from a hard hit percentage below 30% in each of his first 2 seasons to 47.5% in 2025. That is getting into like legitimate power hitter territory. I'm not saying he's Pete Alonso. I'm not saying he's Shohei Ohtani, but he makes smart swing decisions. And he walks, and in theory, he plays elite defense. Again, he didn't grade out all that well last year, but he was still +6 DRS, and StatCast didn't love him. He was below average, according to StatCast, -1 outs above average. He's still really fast. I think he's a guy that could go 20-30 this year. He has a 50 stolen base season. Last season, he had 18 homers and 24 steals. I think he's a reasonable guy that could have 30 doubles, 20 homers, and 30 steals. He hit 288 last year, a 359 or 359 on base. That's really good. And a 435 slug for a middle infield spot as a guy who's a former platinum glove Glover, that could be a 6-4 season.
Yeah, so I have Horner over Turang, and I think it's just because we've seen him do this a little more frequently in his career. Granted, he came up in 2019, the year after he got drafted, but it's interesting because you look at his WRC plus over his full seasons. It's never been below 100. It's never been higher than 110, but he did get up to 109 this year, and he actually led all qualified second basemen in F4, 4.8. He was over 6 on Baseball Reference. But, you look at a guy, he's a contact-oriented guy with speed. And really, the reality is he's an elite defensive shortstop playing second base. He was a great, great shortstop. And then the Cubs signed Dansby Swanson, who's also a great shortstop. So this is a guy who has been well above average. I would say elite in the field. Heck, like I was saying, he had 13 OAA as a shortstop in 2022. And since then has had 13, 10, and now 14 OAA as a second baseman. So I think I just like him as better as an overall player compared to Turang, but they're both productive in different ways. And the NL, we have 3 NL Central players in the top 5. At least Splash and I do. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and coming in at number 2, Brandon Lau.
Whoa! No.
And then number 1, we got whoever the Reds are playing.
Matt McClain.
Matt McClain.
Oh, he's back. Welcome back, buddy. Gavin Lux, you're a Tampa Bay Ray.
Tampa Bay Ray.
All right. I'll keep the Nico Horner train going because that's just my number 3 is as well. I think the main thing that really put, at least for him over Turang for me is, again, the consistency. The fact that it's now been, 4 straight years of having a Baseball Reference WAR of 3.5 or higher here. But also the fact, like you said, it's his glove that's really doing the work for him. But offensively, he's not an offensive play person either. Every year since 2021, he has had an OPS plus of over 100 at the very least. So at least average to slightly above average here with the bat in his hand, with a career high 114 back in 2025. Here again, even notching a good few stolen bases. It has 60 stolen bases over the last 2 years. Here for a second baseman, I'll gladly take that. Here, but yeah, I think the biggest thing that it comes down to is just that he is a elite defender here, and offensively wise, he's done it for a little bit longer than Turang has, but definitely not a lay person. He's very good defensively, offensively. He is the kind of prototypical second baseman that I would want, right? Really good defense. I'm not going to have to worry about them. And offensively, they're going to get the job done. That's what I like. So I'll just go right into my number 2 then. And surprising a grand total of probably 0 people here, we're going to go with Jazz Chisholm. You like Jazz? Well, yeah, I think we all do at this point now. He's just one of the more interesting players in all of baseball here. And I think a lot of us were very concerned with him because we didn't quite know what we were getting here, because we didn't know, is he going to be in the infield? Are they going to try him in the outfield again? Please no. And when he went over from Miami, a lot of people were like, okay, he's going to be around a better lineup now. He's going to be in a much more hitter-friendly ballpark. What is he going to do? He's going to improve everything. That's what Jazz did. He basically made the he made the entire game a lot more simple for himself, which is really nice to see because, again, back in Miami, he was the guy that had to do everything. Well, what is he doing now in New York? He's playing a darn heavy role here. He doesn't need to be the number 1. Aaron Judge is right over there behind his back. They're in right field. He's done incredibly well since joining the Yankees. Now, again, over the last 2 seasons here, and again, this is just the Yankees time, has a combined WAR of 5.7, which not bad for a second baseman specifically. But where it really gets interesting here is you take a look at the offensive numbers, right? His time in Miami, he only ever got above 110 OPS plus one time. And that was in the big breakout 2022 year. After that, it's 99, 110, 101, still good. Immediately, and I mean immediately after leaving the Marlins. OPS plus 131 and 125. He is honestly, if the first guy that we had on this list was not here, this would be the best offensive second baseman in baseball. Like, without a shadow of a doubt here. He's made a lot of good progress, and it's really cool to see that he has been gradually going up and up and up, because, again, we go back to 2022. He was everywhere. He was the guy. Here, heck, he even made an MLB The Show cover at this point, but then they moved into center field, and everyone just went, eh? It didn't work. Like, he had a noodle arm, and he had the speed to make it work, but you need more than speed to play center field. He is now back in the infield where he belongs best. Here, I feel. Here, the arm doesn't matter as much because he's at second base here, and he still has great agility to be able to get to all the balls that he needs to. He is in the perfect position, and he's in a hitter-friendly ballpark, which it's no surprise to see that his home run numbers jumped up a bit more when going to New York.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I have Jazz Chisholm as my second best second baseman too. I just wanted to read off some stats since he got traded to New York. So he's played 176 games as a Yankee, regular season games, that is. 251, 330, 486, 816 OPS, 126 OPS plus, 42 home runs, 49 steals. You just had a feeling once he got out of Miami, he would ball out. The switch would flip. And would you look at that? He has turned into, I think at this point, an elite second baseman. And finally, he's just playing second base. I remember when the Yankees first got him, they had him playing third. I remember the Marlins had that awkward year where they tried him in center field and they put him back at second base. There's no question now. He's not playing third. He's not playing short. He's not playing center. He's playing second base. He's doing it at a pretty good level too. We knew he was an athletic guy, but he's really showcasing his five-tool talent now. The big thing now is, can the Yankees extend him? Because he's entering a contract here. Heck, there were even trade rumors about him this year. But Jazz Chisholm is super, super talented, and we're finally seeing him reach his full potential. He had a 30-30 season this year, 126 WRC plus, 4.4 Fangraphs WAR. Really the best season of his career. And, he did deal with a little bit of an injury, missed about 4 weeks worth of games, but we see him play about 140 to 150 games. I think we're looking at a 5 or 6 WAR guy. And he's just adding on to his future earnings.
Yeah, and to complete the triumvirate, I also have Jazz as my number 2 second baseman. And I'm just impressed. At times he's been a below average fielder. At times he's been a below average hitter. He's put it all together now. He was plus 19 batting runs, plus 3 fielding runs, plus 3 base running runs, and plus 2 fielding runs on Baseball Savant. A 346 expected WOBA. That's pretty good. He's a barrel king, a 15% barrel rate. He doesn't have crazy exit velos, crazy hard hit rates, but when he does, he uses it to the best of his abilities. He was a plus 5 outs above average last year as well. He drew a lot of walks, about an 11% walk rate. I know the playoff performance hasn't been up to snuff, and I do think the fielding will be touch and go at times, but a 30-30 season is nothing to sneeze at, and I think he is the clear king of the second base position in the American League over Gleyber Torres, the guy he replaced at second base. And a great move by the Yankees to bring him in, another Marlin to Yankees pipeline player like Giancarlo Stanton. And Chisholm does it all. He's a star in a lineup that needs stars besides Judge. And you get Bellinger back. That broke today. And Jazz? You like Jazz?
I guess we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll go into my number 1. And this one is very easy. It's probably the easiest of any position group. And that is Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I was really hoping you were going to say Ozzie Albies just to throw us all off.
Maybe if Ozzie would stay healthy, maybe, but he doesn't even have the platoon stuff. Cause he used to be platoon God Like against lefties, he used to just wreck them, like historically wreck them. But now it's just kind of like, whatever. But Ketel Marte has nothing to do with whatever, besides his contract. Because for some reason, the idiots that run the Arizona Diamondbacks were like, can we trade Ketel Marte? Here's a hint. Don't do that. Don't trade your perennial all-star, a guy who was third in MVP voting in 2024, a guy who was previously fourth in MVP voting, a guy who has 64 home runs over the last 2 seasons. He doesn't run much, which is a little weird for the position, but he's a career 121 OPS plus, even with his 2 horrendous seasons in Seattle on the ledger. He's been at least worth 4 Baseball Reference WAR in each of the last 3 seasons, including 6.8 in 2024. The defense comes and goes. That was why he jumped all the way up to 6.8 back in 2024. He had 10 defensive runs saved. But Ketel is an unbelievable player, and he's good against everybody. He's good against lefties. He's good against righties. He is a switch hitter. He is one of the best hitters in baseball, regardless of position. This is not one of the, he's a good hitter for a second baseman or good hitter for a middle infielder. No, he's just a ridiculously good hitter. Plus 22 batting runs, according to Baseball Savant, 390 expected WOBA, 285 expected batting average, 534 expected slug. Yes, this is a middle infielder, by the way. He's 32. Maybe his skills tick down a little bit, and he's not the runaway favorite or the runaway leader as he has been the last couple of years. But everything else on his StatCast page is in the red. It's a 13.5% barrel rate. That's good. A 90.8 average exit velo. That's good. 47% hard hit rate. That's good. He swings a fast bat over 74.5 miles per hour. He makes good contact and a lot of good contact. He doesn't strike out much. He walks a ton. It's one of my favorite traits for a player to have. An 11.5% walk rate last year, a sub 15% strikeout rate. Those things together, diabolical. That's like Joe DiMaggio stuff. Side note, I wish we had a StatCast page for Joe DiMaggio. That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be fun.
Or Ted Williams. That would be up there.
I was going to say Ted Williams.
Babe Ruth, Satchel Paige. Those are up there.
I want to see a 115 mile per hour fastball from Satchel Paige. That would be
Bob Feller
and Nolan Ryan.
Exactly. Fun times. All right, I'll go into my number 1. I don't think there's any. It's Ketel Marte, or as I like to refer to him lovingly as Kettle Marty. But I mean, all you really need to do is just look at his Baseball Reference page. No, just do it. Go pull it up. It is beautiful. If you do not look at the years 2020 through 2022, just ignore those, and 2015 to 2016. Again, just ignore those. But no, in all seriousness, a switch hitting second baseman that also has positional versatility to go play short and center field here has immense power. Again, let's see here. Yeah, over 60 home runs over the last 2 years, has been an MVP finisher 3 times, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. Here, you go on his page. Every year from 2020 on, he has had an OPS, 2021 on, an OPS plus of over 100, with the only real dip in it is an outlier year in 2022, where he really struggled. In 2021, still put up 1.9 WAR in only 90 games. Here, I believe that was another injury year for him. But you just look at him, and the moniker used to be that he was streaky. He'd be really good one year, then bad the next. Be really good one year, bad the next. However, the more you look at the page, it doesn't really play like that. Here, again, he had an incredible year in 2019 with a very nice 6.9 WAR. Year before that was, the second full year with Arizona, 3.9 WAR. Then after that, you have a dip for 3 years. And everyone's like, okay, is this just what Ketel Marte is now? No, he decided to wake up again in 2022, in 2023, with a 4.9 WAR and a 6.8 WAR, and then last year had a down year with a 4.4 WAR. The guy's good. The guy's a switch-hitting second baseman that has strong speed. He's not going to steal a whole lot of bases, but do you trust him to get to every ball that's hit his way? Yeah, you do. He is a solid defender. He can play the outfield if you really need him to. And over the last couple of years, his OPS has been at stupidly high, 844 in 2023, 932 in 2024, and last year an OPS of 893. The guy mashes the baseball. He is a hard hitter. He knows how to be a power hitter, how to be a contact guy. As we can see with his batting averages not dipping below, let's say, 275 over the last 3 years. Like, he is absolutely the complete package. And it still makes me sad to see the first 2 years had the letters SEA next to them, because he absolutely was not any of these back then. He was the guy that was that would miss an easy underhand flip to second base. Legitimately, that happened and lost Seattle ball game against Texas or Oakland. I think it was one of the two. But now he's out here being the best second baseman in all of baseball without a discussion.
Yeah, and I decided to go back and look at least my positional rankings entering 2024, and I had him just barely getting in at number 5. And I remember that was like a conversation to be had. Like, I remember Ozzie Albies had a big year the year before. Like, Ozzie Albies was like my first one off, but there was a really strong case for Albies to make it in over Marte. Now we're looking at it, and Ketel Marte for the second year in a row is the runaway best second baseman in baseball. So, I mean, this guy, like you were saying, he's the complete package. And the crazy thing is that he sort of underperformed some of his expected stats. If you look at the StatCast data, his expected batting average is 290. His expected slug was 523. His xWOBA was 389. And all of those exceed his actual stats. So, I mean, I think, yes, he is on the wrong side of 30. He's entering his mid-30s, but I don't see a reason for him to slow down this year. I still expect him to be between 140 and 150 WRC plus. And the centerpiece of, I still think, a pretty potent Arizona lineup when you have him and Corbin Carroll at the top. It's to be determined what they're going to do with the rest of the offseason, but he's become a star, really. He went from being good to great. And I, like Splash was saying, I had zero doubt in my head that he was the number 1 second baseman. Yes, he did have fewer FWAR than Nico Horner, but he had 0.2 less in about 30 fewer games. So you stretch that out, we're looking at probably a 5 or 6 FWAR guy. And he was a strong MVP candidate in 2024. If he stays healthy, I think he's definitely an MVP candidate again next year. So, yeah. Ketel Marte, the runaway.
Yeah, it's really funny, again, to think about that. Ketel Marte went from being the side piece in a trade to Arizona that featured Taijuan Walker as the main piece. And now Taijuan Walker is trying to find a job, while Ketel Marte is the best second baseman in the game.
Oh, well, Taijuan Walker is still locked in for one more year at the Phillies.
Is he still locked in with the Phillies?
Yeah,
okay, good for him.
It was a 4-year deal. He got $72 million total.
Honestly, that makes me happy because I love that man.
Dude, I absolutely love him. I love Taijuan Walker in New York.
I got to play golf with him one time, and legitimately, it's still one of the greatest days of my life. It was so much fun. He's a good dude here. Like, I want nothing but the best for him. I was so sad when they traded him away.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when the Mets, he made his only All-Star game as a Met. I know he had a terrible second half, but, like, he was such a lovable dude that, I was a big fan.
Yeah, Splash?
We are now being joined by an AI-generated Splash because his laptop is on 4%. So with AI-generated Splash and a monotone voice, we are going to go into a trivia segment. Can he click the button for the trivia? I don't know. Is it going to play? I don't know. It popped up on his screen for about 0.2 seconds.
It played.
On today's episode of Trivia, we are going to do some second base trivia inspired by Splash's father. He, as a Tigers fan, is a Lou Whitaker stan and believes Sweet Lou should be in the Hall of Fame, and was tricked by Tigers Facebook accounts saying that he was inducted, but alas, he was not this year. So in honor of Splash's dad, please name the 12 second basemen who have a higher career JAWS than Lou Whitaker. Alex, please pick a number between 1 and 1,000.
35.
Matt.
87.
The answer is 38. Alex, please proceed.
I learned, okay? I have learned. Okay, so the best... All right, so I'm going to go with Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan, he is number 4. 80 flat. Mac.
Okay. This is tougher because I don't know what Lou Whitaker's JAWS is. Okay. Why am I struggling to think of second baseman? Does Nap LaJoie count as a second baseman or a shortstop? That's the tough thing.
Second baseman.
All right, Nap LaJoie.
Nap LaJoie, he is number 3. Alex.
Okay, let's go with another old timer here. Let's go Rogers Hornsby.
Hornsby, he's number 1. Over 100 JAWS. That's impressive.
That's insane.
That is so many teeth.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
That is so many Steven Spielberg movies.
Yes.
All right, Matt.
At what point do they start becoming repetitive?
After Jaws, after the second Jaws.
Okay, understandable.
Okay.
Jaws 3D, an abomination.
I refuse to watch that. I only saw the first Jaws.
Fair.
Now I'm trying to think of other Hall of Fame second basemen. This is more difficult than it should be.
Yeah.
Primary second baseman.
And will be the show will help you here.
Yeah, I want to believe that, but I feel like there's some Hall of Famers that are below him. Oh wait, I know a guy. Again, this is where I'm struggling with Whitaker's career WAR. I know this guy is like the highest. I believe he's got the highest JAWS of any non-Hall of Fame second baseman. Bobby Grich.
Bobby Grich, he is number 8. 58.7.
Let's go.
Alex.
Okay, I just want to make sure, does Jackie Robinson count as a second baseman or a shortstop?
Yeah, he counts as a second baseman.
All right, then I'm going to go with good old Jackie Robinson.
Number 10, 57.7.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he played long enough.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Okay.
7.3 WAR per 162.
That's
insane.
That's really strong.
It's only behind
Jackie Robinson, really good player.
Yeah.
All
right, Mac.
Hey. Now I gotta think. I don't know how high this guy's JAWS is, but I believe this guy was a pretty good second baseman. Frankie Frisch?
Frankie Frisch, number 9.
Let's go.
All right, Alex.
I legitimately don't even know what JAWS is. I'm just naming good second baseman.
JAWS is Jay Jaffe's WAR score system. It's basically a combination of overall WAR and peak WAR.
7-year peak.
WAR 7.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, Rod Carew.
Rod Carew is number 6, 65.5.
All
right, Mac.
Ooh.
Yeah, 5 names left.
Okay, I'm not sure if this guy lasted long enough to accrue that much WAR, but he's one of the best second basemen of all time with an asterisk. Robinson Cano.
Robbie Cano, don't you know? Number 7, 59 flat.
Gosh,
Alex.
Man. All right, let's go with Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg, 11th place, 57.5.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Mac.
Okay, wait. Now that I'm starting to figure out where the JAWS or like the players in there, I'm gonna go with another Hall of Famer. Although I'm less confident in this one. Craig Biggio.
Craig Biggio is number 15 and All right, Alex. Put the pressure on. You need one of the last 3 to force Mac to get both of the other 2.
Okay. I'm going to go with, he's a more modern guy, Chase Utley.
Chase Utley, number 12.
What?
56.9, just ahead of Lou.
Way.
Okay. All right, Mac,
I know
you must get the last two on the bounce.
Wait, what numbers are left? Can I get
number 2 and number 5 are left?
How is number 2 up there? What? Okay.
We will respect me.
Now I'm trying to figure out what position people played.
Can confirm both of these guys played second base.
Yeah,
I got that much.
I think that's a prerequisite for this one.
Dan Vogelbach.
Dan Vogelbach.
Or Jorge Posada.
I was about to say Jorge Posada.
Travis d'Arnaud.
Travis d'Arnaud. Yeah.
Dustin Ackley.
Willie Harris. Man, okay, I'm completely lost here. I don't know how I don't have the second best second baseman of all time. If number 1 is Rogers Hornsby and number 3 is what's his name, Nap LaJoie, and it's not Joe Morgan because we already have Joe Morgan.
Correct.
God, I feel like it's definitely someone obvious that I should know.
Let's just say if Silver Sluggers were around in his time, he'd have like 18 of them.
What? Why am I lost here? Is it like another dead ball era guy? Like, I mean,
he did say in his era.
Yeah,
in his era.
He did play before 1980.
Played before 1980. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I honestly have no clue. I can't remember if this dude played shortstop or second base. That's the thing.
Spit it out.
Archie Vaughn. He played shortstop, right?
No, Mac.
Yeah.
How you have betrayed me. That's an L.
I just realized as soon as I said that, he's a shortstop. Oh my god.
Hold on. Okay. Alex.
I don't need to say anything, Mac.
A sweep.
Let Mac have it. No, let Mac give
unbelievable
or go for some level of going.
How am I missing this second baseman? This is what's driving me insane here.
A many-time World Series winner, 2 different teams.
Okay, I'm assuming he played for the Yankees at some point.
I'm not gonna say yes or no to that.
Oh my god.
He played 25 seasons.
He played 25 seasons.
Or thereabouts. Maybe 20. Yeah, 25 seasons. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, the other guy ran off to get married, and his city's press went absolutely ballistic because they didn't know why he skipped out on a major team like party. Or it was something I read in the Baseball 100 book. Great nickname, by the way.
I don't know how I'm missing this.
I gotta tell you, brother, I don't know either.
24 years, you said? 25 years?
Yep, 25 seasons.
The other thing is, I'm trying to... I have another guy where I'm not sure what they list his primary position as. Pete Rose.
He is on the left fielder list, I believe.
Oh my god. Okay, that's why. All right, at this point I give up, and I feel like I've lost a lot of respect for myself here.
Okay. A player with 124 WAR, Eddie Collins.
Oh my, yeah, I should have gotten that.
And then number 5, the mechanical man, Charlie Gehringer.
Oh my god,
another Tiger.
How did I
never heard that name
slip through? All right, congrats, Alex.
Yay! I won trivia.
And the tiebreaker was going to be name the first person behind Lou Whitaker, and Alex would have had multiple guesses before Matt could go. That would be Roberto Alomar.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Honestly, I probably don't know if I would have gone to Alomar. I would have said guys like Kinsler.
I would have guessed Jeff Kent, honestly.
Kinsler 21, Kent 22. Marcus Semien, by the way, 23.
Wow.
We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about his Hall of Fame case at some point.
Yeah, he and Matt Chapman.
And Matt Chapman, yeah.
Yeah, it's not one of those looks like a Hall of Famer. It's one of those is a Hall of Famer, which we didn't mention in the when we talked about Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran. Check out our other video. Those guys looked like Hall of Famers. There are a lot of Hall of Famers that don't actually look like Hall of Famers, but then like do Hall of Fame things. Think like Cole Hamels, who might be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I buy that.
I don't know if I buy that personally.
Yeah, but like Felix looks like a Hall of Famer, or David Wright looked like a Hall of Famer. They just had shorter careers, so maybe they make it, maybe they don't. But like Cole Hamels or even Andy Pettitte to some degree, I know he balled out in the postseason. But even like CC at times didn't like look like a Hall of Famer besides 08 with the Brewers.
Right.
Like he had like a year and a half that's like, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but then he gets in on the big win total and 3,000 strikeouts as a lefty.
Right.
Well, I will say, I appreciate that Sabathia was able to remake himself after his injuries.
Absolutely,
more of a finesse pitcher.
He's what I wanted Felix to become.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Felix
the
Hernandez.
The thing is that Felix, like in his decline started in his early 30s, which is unfortunate. Like if he stays healthy, like we're not having this conversation. Like he has the accolades, he has the strikeouts. Like he was. I mean, he was like a top 5 pitcher in the sport. I mean, it was
absolutely.
And while we're on the subject, Johan Santana should be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
Yeah, if only he had won that third Cy Young. It's just that Bartolo Colon, kind of, he's big sexy. So
yeah, shout out to hitting home runs at Petco Park. All right, fellas, that will do it for trivia.
Has happened.
Yes.
Okay, more improbable home run: Bartolo Colon off James Shields or Daniel Camarena grand slam off Max Scherzer.
Oh, both at Petco Park.
I think I'm gonna go personally with Bartolo, just because I'd watched him try to hit the ball for so long, and it just looked painful. Like the man looked like he was tearing his quads every time he swung the bat.
Well, the only reason I'm going to go with Cologne is that the dude had been in the majors for forever, basically almost 2 decades, and
he was on the Montreal Expos at one point.
Yeah, he was on the late '90s Cleveland teams that got beat by the Yankees and the Red Sox. He was on the Expos. He hated swinging the bat, but he just happened to swing and got it in the right part of the bat. It was man.
The man's strong. I mean, remember he used to throw stones at coconuts to build up arm strength.
Yeah, Bartolo had an insane amount of strength, and also for a guy his size, he was pretty nimble.
Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, you remember the behind the back flip?
Yeah,
legendary moment.
Absolutely.
Not as legendary as my Braves Lego Bartolo Colon figurine.
Oh my!
That's sick. That's sick.
So, with that said, shout out to Bartolo Colon, the GOAT. Shout out to Alex coming through with a big dub on the trivia. Shout out to second baseman. There should be more of them in the Hall of Fame, namely Bobby Critch, Lou Whitaker, of course, Willie Randolph, among others. So, friends, no moment to ourselves. You can check out our main episode for that. Make sure you follow us at LAR_baseball on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. You can follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. You can follow me at Mr. Splash 19. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. Hope to see you all real soon. Toodles.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's all